Dire team pick.
Like the easiest way to fix him a little.
The cleave's a pretty.
You think?
Yeah, it's only 30%. So like, it used to be a huge deal when it was 100%. You could literally get the last hit and a time. I just feel like overall, back to deny.
10 seconds remaining.
Because he can get every deny.
Yeah, I feel like if the denies are back to like
5 seconds remaining.
Tiny's a hero that like he flourishes in lane. He's not that scary.
I mean, what you can do, like you can ruin his like the pickup tree a bit more. Like you can put, like it runs out, right? So you pick up the tree and then you have like 40 seconds to use it or whatever. So like you can
like that. Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely ways. I don't.
It's just it's easy to ruin that area. I like.
So it is good. Probably the MC Tiny, obviously.
Like a interesting way to hunt the arc board, and we'll say that just because it, like eventually in the mid game you're always gonna see get the jump with Tiny. Like it gives it's like a vision.
Your deep push is good too.
That's true.
I'm nervous because NiP doesn't play like Secret, where like they'll have a core who's willing to be sacrificed. All 3 cores on NiP, especially with mind control, are pretty greedy, and then you just have this Keeper Light who's gonna have to take over a lane.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think mind control is a very greedy player. Like I think it especially showed the game he played mid Tiny. Like he was literally just sitting in trees for 10 minutes, not farming.
But
like just camping his here. I mean, it's something like it's not.
They have a Tiny here,
it's not Sumail Tiny.
Yeah,
like Sumail Tiny will farm the mid lane and then farm that hard camp and then farm the mid lane. So, but I do like that. The pick is pretty cool. Like I just see this TB's just pushing, and then he like Saxa plays an amazing Kato.
Yeah, he does.
He's gonna have Axe, and like right now EG they can't run into that. Yeah, there we go.
There you go, Shiva. You got the Underlord.
Your homework is.
Yeah. No, Crimson Guard here. Pretty good.
Speaking of Hungry Wolves, I think Sox is like a player, an individual player who's like, right, he did really good one time at TI, and people like praised him, but he kind of like fell off. Like people, he just wasn't on a team, right?
Yeah.
I think he got offers, but none he really wanted.
He was on Optic, right? And then like
he joined Optic halfway through.
I think he left them to go to a team that then didn't work out.
The Tomato team.
Yeah, and then he said, "I'm taking a break."
And then I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Like sometimes midway season, these players like there's so much that goes into.
No, and especially when you come from the TI second place and then you have to start over, you know.
Riding the high,
And he didn't want to be a captain, I think.
That he if you know him, like you've even just seen him, he's a very quiet guy. There's no way he's going to be a captain.
His own game.
Yes,
I mean he had a couple of weird conditions, I believe. Like he wanted kind of to play 5, but it was like because his hero pool, I mean he can honestly play every hero. Like he's one of those guys. I think he might even have been #1 on the leaderboard at one point.
I've saw him at least rank 3. I don't know if he ever made rank 1.
And back then, like like either he spams like these spear breakers or whatever, or he can like he can play OD. He can play anything, you know. So
he's nuts.
Still believe
5 seconds remaining.
No.
Well, we're looking for a Sumail hero for EG, right?
Yeah, I have to imagine.
And you guys are saying that Sumail, if you put Sumail versus Fada, it's an easy win for Sumail, but it probably
that's what Sumail said.
That's what Sumail said.
Okay, sure.
And if he has last pick.
But it probably won't be Fada mid at this point, right? Because we've seen mind control mid with the Tiny.
I think you do that. Like mind control Tiny. That's right. You want to shut down Sumail.
I think they're just gonna do Tiny Kato. Oh, this Ember pick.
Yeah.
This is a disrespect pick right here. You're just. This is Sumail.
How is this
I swear to God, in the draft he's like, just pick me Ember. It doesn't matter what he plays. Like I'll do fine. I believe that.
I think Storm.
Yep.
Plays
10 seconds remaining.
Heroes that don't get absolutely.
5 seconds remaining.
Star was like.
I mean, NiP kind of has to pick here, right? Either they can pick a hero that dumps on this guy in lane, or they pick something that can jump this Arc Warden. Those are like their option. Because I think they're just gonna do like Keeper Tiny.
What about OD?
Yes.
Is it?
I mean,
I think it's pretty good.
Really
it's good, but I'd still say it's crazy. Do you really think someone's gonna pick an OD in this tournament?
We saw it. I don't remember last time I saw it. There was like one really good OD pick.
There was one in the minor. There was one. It was by Navi, I want to say.
There was one this weekend as well.
Okay, maybe that's what I was thinking of then.
That's all.
There has been no OD.
Okay. Like if I've ever seen a good OD game.
If I was the captain who said that, like I would.
Choose your hero.
There's a different route.
Do we like it? Do we not like it?
Keeper and Alk.
If the tiny Coddle lane goes well, I think it's not too bad. But I don't know. I've seen Sumail play versus Alchemist on these heroes where you can chase them, and a lot of the time it's not pretty. Like
the way to counter.
He'll kill him 5 times.
Like you're not gonna TP 4 Banes. Do about him for following.
Yeah.
Which we saw at TI. I mean, they did this exact thing, Alk versus Ember, and he actually he got level 6, Alk was 4, and he just literally followed him in the jungle. Yeah. He did it with Tiny as well. I mean, he just hunts out.
If you're a viewer and you're watching this game, a lot about how to chasing around all.
10 seconds remaining.
Thing is, you really need to protect your Alchemist. The Alchemist can't protect himself. It's like one of those heroes that's so vulnerable. And I'm going for you.
Alright. Twitter was also going for EG with a 72% there. What do you think, Pi?
Okay, let me think. So the lane would be... Yeah, I think I would have to go with it. I can see NiP winning this, but I don't think their lanes will go good enough. Like, EG are too good at that.
I think NiP, I actually like their draft more than EG's,
oh, yeah?
But then it's just like, EG, they get extremely comfortable heroes that we all saw coming, and can they beat them? And I'm probably going to go with EG, but I do like NiP's. I think it's a lot. I think it's like 55-45 for me.
Oh, that's pretty close.
I think it's pretty close.
Yeah, I think it's close.
Like, Tiny can take it over easily. Tiny could take this game over so easy.
All right, no pressure on mind control then for this first game. It is the best of 3. First game of the day is about to get underway with Toby and Kyle.
I love how the panel put it. It's a pressureless game. It's a winner's bracket. Come on, like you lose this, you got another chance. And most people win things through the lower bracket, right?
Please.
Easy.
This is a grudge match. All right, folks. This is not about. I guarantee with placement in tournaments right now. This is about pride and ego. 2 things Dota players value a hell of a lot more at this point.
Yeah, actually, there's a really cool video that NiP put out just literally before this, like in the nighttime, and it's Peter saying, like, you know what, there's enough players here who have had enough success with Dota tournaments, they've got enough money. That's not what drives us anymore. It's about placement, it's about getting further. It's like they couldn't even play on the main stage for ESL 1, and now they're here and they're like, well, we actually want to reach the last 3 days. So winning this game actually secures you that position on the main stage. So they will fight hard for this.
At this point, it's all about the road to TI. And the KL Major, obviously the first stop on that journey. What?
I like looking towards the end of the DPC.
I'm telling you what goes on in the mind of the Dota captains. And
that's what it is.
I agree with the panel. I think NiP, to beat EG, you're a bit outmatched, right? You got to take risks with the draft. And you can see a couple of different styles come out. Bulba, very predictable, very traditional. I'm surprised NiP didn't ban out the Underlord, because I figured that was like a no-brainer after he picked Coddle,
Shiva was calling it. She's just like, well, we did our homework. We looked at Dota buff, and that's the heroes that was only being played. Okay, yeah.
Bulba's great for the panel, because you can predict his drafts like no problem. But I like NiP. I think Coddle's been super underrated.
That amount of damage onto Fly is so high. Mind Control's got the tree toss. One more attack from range. Illumina just came off cooldown. The blast, it's enough. Saxa will spill first blood, while the bounty runes will still, however, be 3 of them going the way of evil geniuses, but it gets balanced out by the first blood gold.
Yeah, mid lane.
And hi Scriff, you're not Scriff. Hi Weapus. I like the live cameras. If people haven't noticed this before, we actually have a live camera. That's where he is, out in that corridor.
Yeah, the mid matchup is going to really be the one to watch, like the panel brought up. It's Ember versus Alchemist. It's a very skill-based matchup. Alk, one of Fada's best heroes. He's been underperforming for a little bit, but I think that if there was a game for him to come back, it's this one. And you can do some really cool stuff with Coddle later on in the game with an Alchemist, like stunning into immediately having another stun up for that 100% lockdown.
Now, I'm actually interested to see just how I think it was BSJ was talking about it. Like Sumail's just going to run at Fad. Like he's going to give him no space at all. Yeah, you can be stacking up the camps, but there's also that high level invasion you can get once Crit just rotates off the lane. The Axe can be a real pain in the butt too. So how is the Alchemist meant to get that farm, that start, when he's going up against a player on Sumail's level, as well as then having to worry about how do I keep my stacks intact.
Yeah, it's a good point, and it really kind of just comes down to how his supports rotate and also the game of mind control. He's going to really need to have a good performance, but bear in mind that when you lane with the Coddle, you're naturally going to get less CS than you would expect because those blasts will inevitably take creeps. Personally, I think if Sumail's on point, as it looks like so far, watching that laning phase, he's got still perfect hill control. He did it for the first couple waves. Like, it's just really well played. This is how you want to play up against an Alk as an Ember.
God, this bottom lane is such a pain in the butt for both Ace as well as PPD. Chris just been running at them. He battle hungers once, so he can always keep up with the movement speed. And then all it takes is a couple of spark rates from the Arc Warden to help do the extra chip damage, forcing Ace's regeneration out. Same for PPD. They weren't lucky enough to get like something like a regeneration rune. In fact, it's an invis rune on top river.
Yeah, there's a reason that Axe is going to be first picked or banned by pretty much every team at this point. It's just the best support.
Mind control, trying to find his target, doesn't have a toss available, but he's got a tree that he could throw with the extra attack from Zuck, so he can actually do it with just a swing. And very little that S4 is capable of doing to try and stop this, and this is where the small advantage comes in, where Crystal Maiden can't run away. Very low movement speed.
Yeah, and check out bottom. It's like a double wave on top of Arteezy on that tower, because in the meantime...
PPD's gone rogue.
Yeah.
He'll begin his TP, and Crit didn't go call, so that's going to be fine. Up on top again. This time it's actually S4. They get through the very thick hide. But is that of the Underlord? 800 HP plus 3 armor, but they still burn through it.
Yeah, this Coddle tiny. You have that immediate, you have a ton of lockdown to ensure the Coddle Blast does full damage, and effectively free mana. You think CMR matters, but then you've got a Coddle who's spamming clarities, giving Chakra to his tiny. The wave always pushed. Here it comes again. Oh, he misses the toss. That would have been a double blast.
Trying to throw fly back over to S4.
Yeah, he just stutter stepped and did it all.
They still keep that harassment up high. That's why you see Stick the Fly. Any kind of flash regeneration you can have against this lane. Tilt the balance back the other direction. How's our other lanes looking? At the moment, like Ace versus Arteezy, something else I want to keep my eye on as Ace burns his Metamorphosis. Trying to get back into this lane heavily. It's 12-1 versus the 14-6.
I don't care about that one.
Sumail's
26-7
versus the 12-0 Alchemist. And with the fortification burning, he can stay underneath this tower longer.
That's
he's gonna kill him.
Yeah, it is.
He's actually gonna kill him.
Jeez.
2 creeps that was taking the tower the entire time, thanks to the fortification.
Yeah, it's 4 minutes in. That means he's had the opportunity to kill 32 creeps. He's got 29 and a hero kill. His bottle's on the way. He'll pick up an illusion for free, or possibly just camp it and then bottle it up. Like, this is a hell of a performance from Sumail, and one of the reasons, you know, you look back at the ESL event, when you replace Sumail, EG's not exactly the same team.
Yeah, they fell a little off. Bottom lane, Arteezy has to go boy in the bubble, try and protect himself. He's got a couple of stick charges to give him that life back again, as Crit wants to chase the spark rate. It's actually going to go onto Ace, but Crit does not want to dive any deeper than that. S4 is also not a healthy man running away on the top lane back behind his tier 1 tower. I think Tiny would like to finish this if possible. The Illuminate, they're into the trees, and everyone's going to dodge it apart from the creep wave. But definitely the pressure being applied. This is the one and only lane I think NiP is going to be happy with.
Yeah, but this is what's supposed to happen. You traditionally see Coddle lanes in the off lane because you can almost always trade evenly, and that's what they're doing up top. But since it's the safe lane, it exposes the Terrorblade bottom, who I would argue is a far more important hero for their overall matchup, and pretty soon he's going to be forced to abandon the lane because like Axe Arc Warden just applies way too much pressure, and they've got a sizable advantage just thanks to the creep wave being where it is.
They did get a small thing out. The fact they got 3 bounty runes, got to keep that in mind while the Alchemist is on the field. Sure. That's what that aggressive posturing on the top lane opened up space for. And they're moving the lanes out. So Keeper of the Light's going to try and do something about Sumail. He's got Flame Guard up and running, and Sumail, even if he gets clipped by it, he's still not really concerned at all.
Sumail is having a dream start to this game. And like the panel was saying, he's going to be the hero that's capable of applying...
Mind control instantly gone on. Once they realize Keeper of the Light's not inside the mid lane, S4 just started running up the lane towards Mind Control. Like, keep the catapult alive.
You can't kill him, though. You can just apply harassment. Dox will probably look to just pull, maybe spam out the wave.
Sumail's coming to contest. He does not want to let Fada just easily farm up inside the jungle. Like, the Illuminate spam will come again on top, but Dox is going to miss his target. The Dire Scan comes too late, and Samel, he Spirit commits over towards Fada. Searing Chains is available, and Fada just TPing out in front of him. Mind Control will arrive, but Samel just dodges the Avalanche with the small little sleight of fist jump, but you got more help on the way. 3 heroes versus Samel, and we'll see how much of a boss he is. Fly is moving over to try and lend that extra assistance to toss up Samel. He still tanks through it, and he's got 3 bottle charges. If they can't keep this up, Samel will find himself another kill. Nope, okay, yep, Flame Guard is up. No magical pop damage from Mind Control will do enough. The Illuminate's too short as well. Fly, he's on the run, but here's another blast, and Fly, he should go down, but Samel, he's already Remnant back in again. Gets the Searing Chains over on Mind Control. He'll get the tree toss out, so it will be a 1-for-1 trade-off. But Samel, the beast, the hunter in the night. See, we don't have a real Night Stalker. Now he's not picked anymore because Samel is the Night Stalker.
Samel's biggest flaw as a player is, I'll be completely honest, like a lack of effort at times. And you can see when he turns up in a matchup that really matters to him, like that was nuts. Pops the Arcane Rune, jukes the Tiny Stun, kills the Alk, forces Shrine. When he did that Remnant down, he put a Remnant back up, bought phase, came back.
And he goes again. He just keeps going again. They put the Observer Ward down already. NiP did not deward it, even though they had their own on top of it. And Fada just can't do anything. This is exactly what the panel was saying was going to happen. It's just this high level of aggression. And they're going to go at him once more. Flame Guard's down for 4 more seconds. They may have enough damage. Tossing forward the Keeper's Eye, the tree toss. Samel is still alive. He's going to back up the Illuminate. There's a hit. No, he got the Flame Guard up in time, so he doesn't even die to this. And then he's going to TP back, regenerate back up. This is the huge problem. Samel is a pain in the ass.
I mean, there's a reason that he still earns respect as one of the best, if not the best mid in the world. Even though EG hasn't won a LAN in a little bit. Oh my god, Fada, not again.
Oh yeah,
not like this.
Yeah, 3 deaths is not enough. They got to make it the true 4. It's Fada. Well, at least he'll get up the hill. Nightmare, no, they'll break him free. Samel, Spirit Commit, jumps forward after Fada, puts the Flame Guard up, so Immolation burning him down. But hey, PPD, he came to help and he'll come to die. The Illusions all running in to see if they can get any kind of extra information, but Fly moves away from the tower. Bane dies. Samel has himself the double kill. My lord, he's 6-0 on this Ember.
Oh my
with
god.
49 CS, 9 minutes in. Is there anything this man cannot do?
The beauty of it all is like when he... I go back to that Remnant out, Remnant back in, right? He did that so much faster than any other player is going to be willing to pull off. And he also bought phase. And then I haven't seen an Ember pick up in, what, months? This is the old school style where he used to go like phase drums and just like run around at all times playing super active. He's going to go for the Maelstrom this game, but I don't blame him because he's just so far ahead. But you can see how phase are so effective at dominating the early mid game. You pick these up 8 minutes into a game, and all of a sudden you're just a race car and you wreak havoc wherever you go.
And it's really difficult for anyone to get out of it. And as you were seeing, like even with the control that normally Bane offers through Nightmare, you still can't do anything. There's a support nearby to take it off.
Oh, that smoke was just out of range of the Dire Observer Ward. They may have seen the outskirts of it, but Ace in a lot of trouble. That's a level 6 TB, already half HP. He does have Sunder, however, but looks like they're going to go up to top.
Yep, they still want to keep hunting Fada. Like the Observer Ward, it's cleaned up, so NiP have very good vision inside their own jungle. Chris just going for the 10-minute bounty runes, and he'll claim it. Meanwhile, Aquawarden's going to take both the ones on the bottom as Mind Control. A little bit too far forward. Samel will go Wicked Sick, killing off the one good hero that NiP had. And this is rough.
Really well played by EG there. Because Arc Warden had pushed out bottom lane so hard, they know that there's not really a hero down there that can contest. All of the NiP heroes are going to be focused in their own jungle, so they smoke cross-map for the bounty runes. This is something you see a lot of the top teams do, treating these 5-minute intervals as heavy objectives. And when you're playing against an Alk, they really are.
We see where Soxer is inside the tree line, looking for the extra battle hunger, so Crit can just chase him down into the trees if they want to. Not enough life on S4, and Sox is just going to TP himself away to the tier 2 tower, not too far away.
But S4 with that HOD pickup, love that choice. Hits the tower.
Samel's following Fada everywhere. Like Fada's like, okay, we just committed Observer and Sentry, 2 of them, in fact, to try and defend their northern jungle, but he goes south, like as far away from the white water as possible.
Uh-oh. Here comes the tip.
Just the tip.
Peter, unfortunately, sleeping himself. He was trying to juke the chains and then run away, but Sumel's too smart for that. And you can see kind of the issue, and part of the reason EG, why it's such a great game for an Ember here, is not just the synergy with the EG lineup, but how does a Bane Coddle ever deal with an Ember Spirit? They really only have the Tiny and the Alchemist, but as we've seen, Ember can just snowball so hard that Alchemist is playing catch up the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Tiny's not going to have a blink anytime soon, and the supports are literally just food.
You can't play catch up in this game though. Like Arteezy, he got his Necro book level 1 pretty damn early, and you know with the rate of farming they're going, there's going to be more, and he's going to force down the buildings. Ember's going to kill everyone to just open up this clean line for Arteezy to continuously pressure.
It's just, this EG concept where you have two heroes, usually S4 and Arteezy, that focus on shoving lanes, often playing apart from one another, and then it enables your Crystal Maiden and Sumel's hero to then rotate around the map, find kills, set up movements. Everyone else, game's simple. You got an HOD on S4, shove down this lane.
And yeah, sure, why not? Action rune for Ember Spirit. It's going to be an Invis rune. Seeing Fada farming on the bottom lane. And he'll feel pretty safe because PPD and Mind Control went on a smoke gank. They were looking around for somebody else.
He's going to go for the lane that's pushed and try and dive this TP. I like this move. You never want to go for a hero that has his creep wave like push this offensively. Oh, they see him.
Yeah, they're getting down aggressive vision. Ace is backing up a little bit more. Crit starts with the harassing battle hunger. Dire is scanning because they're really concerned who's even in the tree line on the bottom.
Yeah. This is good. They wait for the team to link up, and now they'll look to move towards bottom. This is the right kind of play. They're going to backstab. TP ready on Underlord as well if he wants to join them.
Spirit committal, right down towards Fada. He at least gets the ass sprayed down. The Nightmare and the Avalanche. Not the best synergy to come in from Mind Control and PPD. So the Concoction, they can at least isolate Axe, but with the spin and now Sumail coming in. Oh boy, that damage. Spirit jump forward. They push him back with the blinding light. The Spirit jump again over towards Fada. He just can't escape. Fly will also arrive. They're just pumping more and more kills into Sumail. Arteezy will actually end up claiming that one as PPD. The Spark Wraith chasing him through the tree lines. Arteezy can finally get some kills on the board too. 3 for him now. This is a dominating performance by Evil Geniuses.
And in the meantime, S4 just pushing top. He got half damage on that tier 2 tower. In the meantime, you can see once again just... there's not many players in the game that... man, I'll get into it after EG close this one out. I don't want to start praising people too fast, otherwise they might throw and then I look real dumb. But what a game so far from Evil Genius.
I just love every little thing that's going on. The fact like NiP, oh, all right, you're all back up, you want to come out. They had 4 Spark Wraiths sitting on that ramp to the bottom jungle, so they couldn't even go this way. If NiP wanted to, whoever walked into that dies. But they can't go up and battle against S4 as he pushes with the Dominator that he just holds the catapult back, continuously pressuring the lane. Crit, even as a support, like he's walking around with Tranquil Boots only, but he's almost finished his Blink Dagger on this support Axe. And there's normally, like, how much farm do you have on this map? Ember's farming heroes, but the Arc Warden's just been solo farming all that on the bottom. Mid lane, they go for these heroes. It was just the clone and Sumail. He has a double damage room. PPD still no chances. Mind Control will go down. Sumail chalks up his 11th kill of the 14 of EG.
Toby, not just that, he changed while remnanting to ensure that he hit both heroes. If he finishes that, and he'd end up too far out of range of the Tiny, wouldn't have hit both. But because he does it mid-remnant at like the perfect... oh man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Might just finished on our teeth.
It's like, talk us through, man. Flies in a little bit of trouble. Ace just wants to commit. He goes directly into the Metamorphosis and at least gets one kill. Concoction Valve for Fada. Crit!
Oh!
He was denied by the Satyr Prowlers, the most annoying ancient that you can find. Now for 2 reasons.
Yeah, and he stole the bounty as well. And as you said, when Alc's in the game, it's very important to control those. He is completely fine with that death.
The Alchemist's net worth is lower than that of the Keeper of the Light. Okay, it's he's 4.6k compared to the 9.2 of the Ember. You got issues. Lincoln Spear is going to be the next build up from Sumail after the Maelstrom, being a little bit more defensive.
Crimson card already finished on S4. You actually can't kill him.
All right, we're adding Glutton for punishment. Let's see this close. Got it.
All calculated.
That concoction was like a fraction of a second away from connecting.
And that just doesn't serve to just obviously help out the team of EG, but that's gotta tilt you a little bit if your father's Alchemist. He's 0-5-1. He's like, all right, I'm gonna get on the board, give myself a kill, some nice XP. That would have given him maybe his level 10 talent, but nope.
Oh, ace.
Oh, this could be bad for Smell.
Well, I don't know. Like, they're going to initiate on bottom lane. Samel just jumps away and almost kills Bane while he's there. But it's down on the bottom. Terribly at least gets the Sunder off, but the bubble is down to no extra damage to come their way. Dodge the Illuminate. But yeah, Samel is
another
Samel is
arcane
fine.
too.
Well, again?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, sure, why not?
He's just charging towards top. He's hunting Peter. Bit of a bone to pick, it appears. In the meantime, his team is controlling the bottom Dire Ancients. This is exactly how you want to play against TB Alk. These heroes need to farm. That's when they hit their peak timings. Once they get their core items up, they need map control. But EG is just like, nah, we're not going to dive too deep. We're just going to control your woods. And inevitably, your carries are going to come up here and feed. And look at the vision they've got. Still one on that hard camp top jungle. They've got 2 wards now placed in the bottom jungle.
Yep. NiP have no ability to get outside their base and find that farm. They have to do it all from inside the base. And if they come out too far, Chris just waiting for the perfect opportunity. He's got the Blink Dagger sitting around his own obs.
Yeah, you can't kill Sumail. It's just not possible. You don't have enough stuns. The only real way to make it happen is going to be a toss back after Tiny gets Blink, which, by the way, he's 500 gold from. In the meantime, Chris had his for a couple of minutes. And if you don't toss back into a grip or an immediate Alk stun, Ember Remnants away, no problem, slights, and you end up just looking
I don't think you can even get that instant toss back. Once he's got the Lincoln Sphere up, like, you got nothing else to break the Lincolns, not from a long range, and there's your Spirit jump, forward, back, and a miss a Sleight of Fist. Axiata was able to move just far enough north to dodge it. And that's one nice thing now for the Keeper of the Light. He completed up his Aghanim Scepter, so high ground defense is at least one of the strengths that NiP does have, as long as they don't get picked off.
Yeah,
I know.
That's very true.
I know. It's a pretty big fine print.
I mean, this is, if NiP's lineup, I do like it. Like, there's an Ags on column now, and he's spamming Chakra on the Terrorblade to ensure that he can spam illusions faster. You know, eventually, Ace will accelerate and be a force in this game. The concern is just, I mean, look at the net worth on Sumail and Arteezy. Like, they're not slowing down, and they have so much map control to accelerate.
I actually was wondering if they would have gone for the just a straight up Necrobooks, create the army and go up, but instead it looks like he's going back in for the Maelstrom. After the BTs, call, gonna grab Tiny. No, he wants a TP out, no TP to no stun to cancel it. Instead they look towards the Bane with their stun. So PPD, nice knowing you. Sumail, of course, well played indeed. He didn't deserve that at all, but he'll take it.
God.
Well, look where Fada's farming. They put down like mass Dire Observer wards in the Radiant jungle just so Fada could do this. He's just left the Dire side. EG owned that. And meanwhile, Ace forcing the bottom. He'll get the kill over on Fly. Nice call from Crit, just holding Terrorblade's position. There's a little bit more help to arrive. S4, he's low, and the blast will get it. Ace gets himself a double kill. Sumail will be there to clean up the mess, but at this point, when you're this far behind...
You take that.
Yo, you definitely take that.
Especially considering up top, Fada's finally getting some space. He'll have that Radiance finished up soon. But it's just... It's good movement from EG, but that's how NiP wants to play this. Continue splitting the map and try and catch EG off guard. They have a Bane, they have the Tiny Blink now. They're going to have that potential to find kills. It's just difficult.
Just trying to farm up the Necros and the clones, anything they possibly can. Get the cash, get the money. The Blink Dagger is now finally done on mind control, so there's some level of threat that EG need to respect. This is why they slowed things down. This is why you do go a Midas into the Arc Warden and build into the bigger items. This is why you do get the protection of the Lincoln Sphere. And Sumail's going to go for a Blink Dagger now after this, and another Arcane Rune.
It's definitely the item build in this game. The Lincolns is so good because your only real threat is the Alk and the Bane Grip. And Lincoln's 13-second refresh time obviously is going to be great at protecting against that. And you go Blink in this sort of game because the rest of your team plays around you as the Ember Spirit. If you can just render yourself invulnerable, spam those extra 1 second from the talent chains, that's 4 seconds of stun on possibly 2 heroes every 8.
Mind control, gonna go in over on Fly, but the Frostbite's up, and Sumail has arrived. Fly's gonna let it go, but Sumail's still gonna get the kill. Nothing's gonna take away his killing spree.
Gonna hunt for more. You might find Peter over to the left.
Fist chains. Does he think about it?
Oh, he guessed up top left. He was a little bit more to the middle.
EG's gonna go in for Roshan now.
Yep, it's the right call. About time, to be honest. They've had the map control to do so for quite some time.
Maybe they just want to keep the pressure up. Like, Fada's getting that space. So he's finished up the Radiance, as you mentioned. The net worth is starting to rise bit by bit, looking for the Manta style, anything that allows him to just push back out without having to risk his primary hero.
So well, we got a bit of a... Oh, hang on. Smail might be in a little bit of trouble. You've got the rest of NiP coming down.
Smail in trouble.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it, Kyle. You've taken on the whole role of like, let's think positive about things. NiP could actually do something when they have 5 heroes on bottom lane staring down the tier 1. And then Underlord.
Darkrift. I like this movement from ENG, and this is... They utilize the Underlord quite well. Part of the reason, again, I'm surprised it wasn't banned is because they've demonstrated, like, hey, this is... We're comfortable with this. They beat Aster. They were down 1 game. They picked Underlord twice. They won those games, and I think S4 was a huge part of that. It's also very difficult to activate all 3 of EG's cores. They're all very talented, but also greedy players. No one's ever really sacked, and...
Smail's hunting. He's been chasing the Keeper of the Light for the last 15-20 seconds. Crystal Maiden. Oh, flying. Oh, that Crimson's letting him survive a little bit longer, but the concoction will finish the job. Nice kill to go the way of Fada, as long as he can survive the rest of this. And with the TP, he will be able to do so. While that's going on, Crit found his own target, and while Blinding Light pushes him away, but Remnant straight back in. Smail, like, Beyond Godlike does not describe a 14-0-3 Ember Spirit.
Yeah, that was a really cool play from Arteezy as well. Fada tried to kill the Archer to prevent his TP in. He glyphed, obviously no longer possible. Fada forced his TP out. Were there a stun there, he would have gone down, but Fly unfortunately already had met his demise. Now remember, Aegis is up on Arteezy, and look at these lanes. Look at how they're pushed from EG. You can see them just constantly cutting the map, ensuring that 2 waves always push towards the NiP tier 3s, and all it's going to take is 1 miscue on probably the Coddle plus a core, and then all of a sudden you'll have all 5 of EG just in 1 lane looking for a Rax.
Yeah. If someone wants to come in a little bit further out like Ace was, even when the top lane was pushing in, like it was on top of the tier 3 tower on the top, and you still saw Fada sitting behind his Rax, letting the Acid Spray get the last hits as well as the Radiance Burn. Like that's the mindset they're in at the moment, where even at the tier 3 towers, it's not a safe area to be.
Yeah, and just look at their formation. Like, it looked like a flock of geese for a moment, where they're just spread out evenly, covering mid, but also... Oh, there we go.
Perfect. There's your side of Fist-Searing Chase 9. That from PPD will make it a little bit more difficult, and that buys time for Ace to actually jump in and get the Thunder off, plus his big Metamorphosis just so we can pump out the damage, but they can't get far enough. Arteezy just arrives, bubbles it up, and then no longer do any level of damage. A double kill for Arteezy, and NiP, they're buying back for the moment, fly under the cover of Glimmer Caves, having to bump S4, toss back in for the Searing Chase, and the double jump in. Concoction stun was already there. Smail, sure, take another double kill. And they can get more if they want to keep pressuring. NiP, 3 heroes down without buybacks, guaranteed top racks, and probably guaranteed game 1.
Such a sick play from S4, running his Wolf Creep. And again, Wolf Creep, look at it, still there, 30% damage to the entire squad. Runs that in behind NiP, ends up setting up a pincer, 3-man pit, 3-man firestorm. Rax dead, and it just takes that one opportunity. EG putting NiP in a position where at some point, it's not even a mistake, you've got to try and get out on the map, get aggressive, find a kill, make some space for yourself, but they punish hard, and you can see they're spreading the map around. They're always pushing 3 lanes, but as soon as they have the opportunity, they can collect his 5 in a moment because of how fast and mobile that all their cores are. The supports are going to gank, and then you've got an Underlord TP, Arteezy bosses, and boom, everyone's 5.
Let's have a quick look at it again. So Ace, the one they started on, Crit gets the perfect call, but that Nightmare from PBD actually gave them a fighting chance. For Ace to get the Thunder off.
But now here comes Balto from the backside. You're going to see in just a moment. The like you feel safe, but then bang.
Hi. S4. Right place, right time. And very little that NiP can do about it. But as you said, like, they've got no other choice. They have to come out. Delaying the game is one thing, but they're here to win, not just delay. Arteezy's getting up in their faces. That's just the clone doing its work, taking the concoction. But just that amount of damage. And Fada is forced to burn his chemical rage and almost run back. Yep, he'll run all the way to Fountain. Mind control. Doesn't actually get the toss off. Remember, Arteezy is the man walking around with the Aegis, and he almost burns it. But while that's happening, Sumail, the double root thanks to the Searing Chains, follow up by the Pit of S4, just hold them there for the follow-up call, and then even more Sleight of Fist damage. You can buy back all you want, but you cannot stop the rampage. Or maybe you can. The Fiend's Grip is on Sumail. Flies letting it go, but they bring down, finally, Sumail. And can they keep capitalizing? You know you'll want to come back in just a second. But NiP, they still have to deal with Arteezy. A triple kill for him. That this really is, like, it's well played on all fronts. There's really no way that NiP can hold them back. Arc Warden is just way too strong. The Ember's about to re-arrive. So as NiP come outside their base, Sumail arrives back, ready to kill. Spirit jumps back up again. Fada, he's going to go for the concoction. Sumail will be hit by this. They at least burned the Lincoln Spear previously. Missed the Searing Chains onto Keeper of the Light. But it's not stopping the pressure. And it's not stopping the huge economic disadvantage that NiP have. And the damage from Arteezy, that's just his clone still finding the kills. Or still looking for the kills onto the two supports.
Sumail was hunting. He hit that slider with a guild, both supports for sure. But most importantly, I think for him, EPD. What a game from EPD.
It's been pretty flawless.
Yeah, I love that they bought back. There's no reason. If you don't buy back there, you think it's safe, but I actually would disagree and say it's the opposite. You want to close out a game when you're this far ahead.
Concoction Sun flies forward, it goes towards Axe. Again, another perfect hit, and Sumail, he doesn't even care about the mana leak. He'll Spirit Jump out. Couple of bottle charges to give him the mana to continue the fight. But NiP still having to deal with the Arc Warden clone. Can't get close enough, can't really do enough damage to it. And when they do, they realize they're committing abilities just to kill the clone, not even the real thing.
And now you back away. They're all a bit low on mana, so you just want to regen. Oh, I love this. Just kidding. The fake back.
It's nighttime.
They got a Warden base as well. They see Fada. They know he has no BKB, no Manta.
They just lost a huge advantage from the Keeper of the Light Aghanim Scepter.
Yep. It hit nighttime. This is the right maneuver.
They put the Sentry Ward Observer on the wrong side now. Oh, there she pushed forward. Cold. Nightmare trying to chase the target once again, but the Keeper of the Light, no way out. Too much range damage, too much control. Ace is looking for a Sunder target, but he can't get close enough for it. Even if the cover his own BKB, he didn't have the confidence, but Sumail does. The blink in, they try and toss Fada away, but the Searing Chains burn was already there. They just keep pummeling forward, looking for more, looking for kills, looking to send a message and just make NiP fearing for their lives going into game 2. Mind Control will burn. Sumail gets a GG. Is finally called. Wow. But EG, they've owned this game from the beginning.
When you watch players like Miracle, like Sumail, it's not fair to just say that they're really good, okay? They're not just elite, they're on that next level, what I would say transcendent. And when they're on point, it's just like they're unstoppable. Like
you're talking him up a lot. I definitely get that.
That was a perfect game. That was a perfect game.
After all this time, I finally understand. Weapons are useless without the skill to wield them. The past is an illusion without the stories to anchor it. Immortality is meaningless without the trials to make one worthy of it. Time to write a new story.
They showed promise at the TI-8 qualifiers, but after a summer to reflect on missed opportunities, they're finally showing why this iconic org has placed all their faith in them. Coached by TI-3 winner Loda, this new generation finished third in the EU regionals and are desperate to leave their mark on the major. Out of the shadows and into the light, they showed promise at the TI-8 qualifiers, but after a summer to reflect on missed opportunities, they're finally showing why. The VGJ Storm roster that reached top 8 at TI this summer found themselves a new home and a new offlaner. TI winning Universe stepped up to the plate this season, and with a Kings Cup Regionals title already under their belt, this team is already making waves. With their dynamic support duo and the prolific Resolution, there's potential to go far. Runners-up in the NA Regionals, please give it up for Forward Gaming. Runners-up in the EU Regionals, PPD's newest creation have been busy this season, but face the challenge of performing at the major without offlaner 33. However, with TI winner Mind Control as a replacement and the lethal reliability of Fata and Ace, it would be foolish to count them out just yet. Giving their org their DPC debut, please welcome Ninjas in Pajamas. A hybrid of North and South American players, this is a team that has bridged the gap. Housing Brazilian veterans Lilis and Forder, along with the bad boys of NA, their high-risk, high-reward playstyle got them this far. But can they continue to go unpunished? Runners-up in the South American Regionals, give a big hand for Pain X.
After all this time, I finally understand. Weapons are useless without the skill to wield them. The past is an illusion without the stories to anchor it. Immortality is meaningless without the trials to make one worthy of it. Time to write a new story. This unusual team is a blend of Europe, Asia, and North America, whose third-place finish in the NA Regionals for the Major turned heads. Originally called March Out of the Army as a tribute to their new captain, they built on their early success to place second in WSOE in Las Vegas last month. But Kuala Lumpur is their biggest challenge yet. J Storm. After all this time, I finally understand. Weapons are useless without the skill to wield them. The past is an illusion without the stories to anchor it. Immortality is meaningless without the trials to make one worthy of it. Time to write a new story. This unusual team is a blend of Europe, Asia, and North America, whose third-place finish in the NA Regionals for the Major turned heads. Originally called March Out of the Army as a tribute to their new captain, they built on their early success to place second in WSOE in Las Vegas last month. But Kuala Lumpur is their biggest challenge yet. J Storm. They showed promise at the TI-8 qualifiers, but after a summer to reflect on missed opportunities, they're finally showing why this iconic org has placed all their faith in them. Coached by TI-3 winner Loda, this new generation finished third in the EU Regionals and are desperate to leave their mark on the Major. Out of the shadows and into the light, and making their debut on the DPC. Give it up for Alliance! The VGJ Storm roster that reached top 8 at TI this summer found themselves a new home and a new offlaner. TI winning Universe stepped up to the plate this season, and with a Kings Cup Regionals title already under their belt, this team is already making waves. With their dynamic support duo and the prolific Resolution, there's potential to go far. Runners-up in the NA Regionals, please give it up for Forward Gaming. Runners-up in the EU Regionals, PPD's newest creation have been busy this season, but face the challenge of performing at the Major without offlaner 33. However, with TI winner Mind Control as a replacement and the lethal reliability of Vata and Ace, it would be foolish to count them out just yet. Giving their org their DPC debut, please welcome Ninjas in Pajamas. A hybrid of North and South American players, this is a team that has bridged the gap. Housing Brazilian veterans Lilas and Forder, along with the bad boys of NA, their high-risk, high-reward playstyle got them this far. But can they continue to go unpunished? Runners-up in the South American Regionals, give a big hand for Pain X. Heavy favorites to win the Major, this team towered above the competition in Hamburg and were truly on another level. Nisha and Zai joined their ranks this season, and Captain Puppy seems to have once again masterminded a world-class roster. Meta trendsetters with unpredictable drafts and winners of the EU Regionals. Team Secret. Great drafting by 1437 turned the grand finals of Dream League around to see this team take the first minors title of the season and receive the golden ticket to the Major. They were soul-bound together after victory in Stockholm, according to Moon Meander. They showed grit and versatility in Sweden, but how will they fare in Kuala Lumpur? In the words of Zephyr himself, we gonna win! Tigers. Frontrunners for the entire DPC last season, they've kept their double major winning roster, but have yet to fully assert their dominance. Humbled in Hamburg, they arrive in Kuala Lumpur with a point to prove and scores to settle. Winners of the CIS Regionals, and led by the iconic Solo. Please give a big hand for Virtus Pro. After an impressive showing at the end of the last season for this team, Misery moved from coach to captain, and the impact is undeniable. Winners of the South American Regionals, they're not here to make up the numbers. They're here to go the distance. Introducing Pain Gaming.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
Like,
yeah, I don't see his lane. That's all. I don't really know. Like, what would you do with him? Put him with Axe in the offlane or something?
like,
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and he kind of sits mid. Because there's no these in course right now. There's the keeper, you know, but
they just need. I just feel like.
You want another hero to just be able to do shit.
Yeah, and I talk about hunting this model. Last game they had. I just. So far, I feel like Ninja. Obviously.
I got a random question. Well, I know the answer. Do you know the active ability on Diffusal, what it's called?
oh, is that
Not
his
just
name?
called Bird?
Diffuse.
Inhibit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I was just thinking about like purging it. So I don't know why. Just a random question. Move on. It's weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
I learned something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
same.
a lot of people out there.
Y'all are well.
No, no.
I'm for the
Twitch
kids.
knows everything.
Dire
Come
I
on.
do.
turn back.
Alright.
Hey!
I
Wait,
said
we
it was
talked about
coming.
this hero, but we also said we didn't see it for a reason.
Yes. Every time someone, this is a classic. I have a rank 400 player in my team, right? And it's time to pick the mid laner, and he has no idea. He has no idea what's going on. Then, Queen of Pain.
This is just another like cocky pick,
10
right?
seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it feels like to me. Like they just said, Sumail, you're getting the 4th pick here. What do you want?
5
There's no
seconds
like, you're not
remaining.
gonna question Sumail. Like not even Bulba will, I don't think.
I mean, he questioned him for a minute, right? The bonus
That's
time was
true.
running out, and then eventually, like, all right.
Turn to
Are you
ahead, man.
sure?
They were probably just arguing.
Yeah.
Honestly, Bulba was like, dude, I'm not picking that. Dude, I'm not going to pick it, and then he picks it. That's literally how it went up there.
That honestly stuff.
Yeah.
What they're
I mean, this just makes me sure that they don't know what they want last, even though they have to pick it right now. Because, like,
Yeah.
no one's banning that queen, you know? You just pick it up last pick.
Evil
Question.
geniuses
Queen of
turn to
Pain, we've sometimes, and I say this very sometimes, seen it as support. Is there the tiniest chance that they are gonna... Yeah? Okay, okay. I'm just throwing it out there.
They can pick like a versatile laner. Okay.
Oh, that's more of an
that's-
S4 hero.
No, I think S4's playing Axe, right? I feel like if you pick Shaker, you give it to crit.
Oh, actually, yes, of course. You're right.
I mean, it could. I mean, this tournament though, it has switched things up, so they could just be like, "Hey, this Treads Aghanim's build is pretty dank." But it's how does that work with mana leak? Isn't that really bad?
Yeah, you
because
get
it does
you get
affect
leaked
you.
as your-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I like the
10
idea of cutting
seconds
this game
remaining.
because it will free up the Orb Shaker, and him and Queen can go ham on
5
this melee.
seconds
Like, because then
remaining.
it really doesn't matter what NP pick here to counter the Queen. Like, she will have a good game if the Shaker sits there.
Who is good versus Queen of Pain? Middle, just one-on-one.
Like every hero.
Every
You can pick
hero.
anything.
What about Al?
Go for it.
You could go for it.
Terror
I would
Lane's
hope-
actually really good against Valve. You don't want to pick. You don't want to pick Alchemist.
I'm trying to think of Fada here. I mean, we were talking before we were on here, like the Razors and stuff just isn't a good hero. Like, what else is Fada really known for?
I mean, you can go Dragonite, you can go Invoker, you can go Ember even.
Or Invoker. I like
you can go Meepo. This Axe.
That's scary.
That's the problem with Queen. Like, every mid hero is playable against her. That's how I feel right now.
What is the most comfort hero for
That's
Fada?
what I think.
Is that
probably.
DK?
Yeah, like, he's a very like stable type player. Doesn't pick a lot of these.
I think it is DK or Invoker though. I think Pie's right.
You want something offered. Like,
thinking about it. Might as well, right? You got to 20 seconds.
Might as well take him all. Discuss that game plan.
And we got one of the best people on the casting desk right now who loves just wait. Even though he would know his pick, he would just wait just to waste the other team's time. Kyle, of course, when he was on call, he said it. He's like, yeah, I already knew what I wanted, but whatever. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, this game is. I think it looks a lot better for NiP than hero. That what they did was the hero that's very survivable against what they. And instead, NiP.
It's a crit axe though.
Okay, so it is gonna be this. I mean, he's gonna do the same thing. He's just gonna. Well, no. What you just play in lane, right? You don't cut creeps in this game.
All right, guys. What are you thinking, Grant? You want to go first?
I want to go first. I mean, I agree. Once again, I think NiP's draft possibly could be a little bit better, but it's just after watching game one, like it's just hard to bet against that, right? Like it's the PSG LGD. I actually didn't. I mean, their drafting game two was like, what the hell? Support CK, but they're that good. So yeah, I'll go with EG. I just think they're
I really dislike Queen of Pain as a hero, but they have Shaker. They have Shaker and Terrorblade. So even if the Queen does what I expect her to do, they're probably gonna win. I'm gonna go with EG again.
Yeah. You know, NiP. I look like a genius.
Yeah, I think I like it.
You know, I'm glad I have got you guys' opinion, but there's only 2 opinions I really care about, and those opinions are from Kyle and Toby. What do you think, guys?
You care about Toby's opinion?
Yeah, Shiva. Thanks, Grant. Thanks, Grant.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put you on a freaking couch at TI, and all of a sudden, just.
How are you guys saying that they have Bane Coddle, that's garbage, and you have a PL against Axe, Shaker, Terrorblade, Quap, and their draft is better? Are you guys high?
Look at that.
And the other thing, Sumail's kicking us. So, like, no matter what they put in the mid, you are going to lose anyway. So instead, you just pick a DK and just live through it.
I'm feeling way better about my.
That's true. Like when you predict something, isn't it? It swings the other way. Game 3. Game 3.
Notorious bad at predicting games. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let's have some fun. Let's just watch Sumail. It's just Sumail cam the entire time.
I'm just hyped. This is the meta that I love to see.
You say it's just TI5, right, for you? Like that's what you're thinking the entire time.
Yeah, it's just I'm better than you. Like, what's up? Like,
how did you describe it to me during the drafting phase? Look at that grin! What is even that grin? It's like, can we just go back and have Sumail's face just permanently like over the hero? That's all we need.
He's probably smiling wider like right now at this moment, especially when I mean I told you. There's no way they're picking Fada anything other than DK here. Yeah, he could go Invoker, but
well, we were having this. Okay, so Kyle and I were having this debate during the drafting phase. It's like, okay, you know, like I think it was like Purge's favorite thing. Like you're playing to stay alive or you're playing to win. And it feels like it's like, well, DK could be picked, but where's your playmaker that doesn't require a blink dagger, that doesn't require everything else, and just assume that your lane is going to be either even or lost based on game 1. It's and how do you influence this as a DK? Like, does DK ever win a lane against Queen of Pain?
No, but he doesn't get dumpstered.
Yeah,
and there's no way
get dumpstered. They will have an opportunity.
PPD is playing to win, right? And there's no way he's picking Fada anything but DK or Viper in this scenario. Like, it's got to be something that you know at least. And I think that because Fada's playing DK, EG went for the core Shaker, which is just a more valuable core throughout the game than an Axe, because you don't have that same roaming potential on a DK. They're going to just let the Quap DK trade mid, and Axe is just now a better laning support. He can be bottom with the Terror Blade, and it frees up this really nice Dazzle Shaker off lane. And later on in the game, man, I mean, Shaker, we saw Boxy's build that treads Aghanims. I'd be very surprised if S4 didn't do the same. And I said it to the panel, but I really don't like Bane Coddle in this game.
Watch the Coddle, though. Coddle mid is going to be the place to be. Why is Slacks on the Observer PC? That's not weapons. I want a professional. I do not want Slack. Get out of there. This is why we're watching bottom lane. We weren't even looking for the courier snipe because Coddle TP'd out.
Man, we're having way too much fun at this event. I love it.
Yeah. Good times, bad slap.
So
we watched the CS battle in mid. At least it's almost even. Yeah, it's early on. It's early days.
If Quap doesn't really win this lane, it's just not possible. DK has more damage whenever he breathe fires you, and you can't actually harass a DK. Quap wins lanes through pressure, keeping the enemy low, and then looking to find a kill. But
do you even like at that point you don't even level up Shadow Strike again, right? You leave it at the 1.
I think if there was a lane to do it in, it's this one. So yeah, that's what I would expect.
And then just look for the burst damage, because that's what I was like. In game 1, Sumel's movement, like his rotation with the Ember, was so fast, it was so efficient. Obviously, he kept on the front lines because he was able to Remnant, like just TP back and Remnant out again. A little bit harder with the Queen of Pain because she needs to be able to maintain control over the runes. But I was still looking for the burst damage, just rotation. But he did actually go the second point up in Shadow Stride.
And usually fought to put the second point in Dragon Blood.
Mind control. He actually had a really good game last game. It was just massively eclipsed by the plays of Sumail. And now he gets to spill first blood. And, yep, Crit will come back and give him some life.
I like Coddle Centaur a lot more than Coddle Tiny as far as kill potential goes. You can see Sumail play. He's so greedy with the courier. He already used it twice. He's going to use it again as soon as it's back in base to get the salve, and just that the circlet and the mantle he brought out right away of individual uses. Just because he has more damage now and he can pressure the DK even harder. Salve popped by Fada. He actually skipped Blink on Sumail to try and pressure harder for kills.
Just straight harass the lane. Well, if you walk close enough up to the DK, like there's still 2 points in Dragon Blood. Like Fada can tank through this, right? Like it's no real issue for him.
Surprisingly, Fada went for a bottle. I usually see DKs go Soul Ring, but he's actually just so afraid of Sumail's pressure that he's making sure that he all has optimum sustain, even if it's a bit worse if you don't get the runes.
Yeah. Is that just when I'd say like you can bring supports in to handle the runes, but NiP, like both of those supports have to stay in the lane.
Yeah, and man, top lane, Shaker Dazzle against a PL, like you counter this lane so hard. There's 17-5 versus 14-0, which is actually a bit weird. I think you can do better, but as the levels scale, PL gets to a point where you can't touch creeps, because if you catch a stun into a heal bomb, you're now forced to salve or walk back to base.
Yeah. I guess the bottom lane harass has been pretty good for NiP. They are building up stick and one charges onto the EG players every single time with those abilities being spammed out. But Mind Control feels a lot more confident just to stand on the front line. With the Ring of Health, having the stick charges available, the extra block, just simple regeneration, Mind Control can just blast through. And you'll always have the mana for the hoof stomp.
Yep. It's kind of the same story in this NiP off lane, where as the levels advance, you're going to eventually have a sustained advantage. You've already got the Ring of Health up on the Centaur. He'll have full mana at all times because of Saksa, and they can just continue to apply pressure until eventually TB's in trouble.
This is really good. Yeah. Like, the light moves off the lane for a very short span of time, but it denies Sumail. Just the haste rune.
Sumail's up like a lot of CS all of a sudden.
22-8 to the 14-4.
Yeah, he must have crushed the last 2 waves real hard. I wasn't watching, but wow.
A lot of damage up on top lane. PPD's having some hard times getting away from S4. At the same time, there's still more regeneration in the hands of NiP. I say that when they're going up against a Dazzle.
Top 3 CS in the game, all EG heroes, but bear in mind, Coddle's taking a lot out of the bottom lane. Still certainly a win for NiP. They are slightly ahead in the game.
Yeah, good time to push out the lane too. This now is for the 5-minute bounty runes. So they get both on bottom, and it's a split up on top between NiP and EG.
The concern, though, with this draft from NiP is they don't have any real sustained damage output until PL is huge. And that's going to be a big problem for them. They need to find kills with the initial stun combo in mid lane. Sumail not going to go for it.
He won't
3 points Shadow Strike, by the way, going full lane domination. And you can see Bada's feeling a lot of pressure, and part of that's due to just the lack of any regen items. He has no stick, no soul ring, so he's completely reliant on that Dragon Blood, which isn't preventing the massive damage output from the Shadow Strike.
So hilarious watching Mind Control just playing around with crit. These two tanky heroes, a little bit more tanky on the Centaur. Just walking up close and baiting out the hoof stomp.
Yeah,
because it's trying to sync with the blast from Coddle.
Terrorblade's so hard to play against Coddle because one blast just takes you down to half HP.
I'm loving this from NiP though. Like, they keep moving off to make sure there is no runes coming the way of Sumail. They're being right on top of this. And it's actually Fada who gets to bottle up the DD, so it's going to give him some better times in mid. Trying to help repair that deficit. 33-13 for Sumail to the 24.
Yep.
And that's 20 and 4 for the DK.
If Sumail's on this form, I think this is how you have to play against him. Put a lane matchup that he can't dominate in mid, and then control his runes. Because, yeah, sure, he'll still win the lane 34-15 to 21-4, but at least he's not just single-handedly taking over.
Yep. They got a little lucky as well for EG, the fact that Observer was just out of range of the sentry in the mid lane, but on top, Fish is around. PPD's copying a lot of damage. S4's got another control through the totem, but not enough damage to follow through into PPD. And even if he did, the Nightmare was still available for the Bane.
Structures are fortified.
They're going to fortify on both sides, just try and play with the equilibrium of the mid as Crit. He's done his rotation. The Observer board from NiP sees him coming from a little bit away.
He saves the Battle Hunger to ensure that the Breathe Fire comes out first. Well played. And S4 does go for the Treads build, so I would not be surprised to see him get that Ags. It's one of those things that you see happen throughout the duration of a tournament where someone does something that the pros recognize as really good. And I think the first thing in this event that we all saw was that Boxy Shaker. And that new core Shaker style, I think we'll see this entire tournament because it was so good.
Oh boy, Arteezy really committing onto Mind Control, going for the reflection.
Uh-oh.
Doesn't stay up long enough, however, and there is a level 2 Illuminate available, but Arteezy turns around still once more, creates a copy. And they got extra help. Crit coming in from the side. He doesn't find the target instantly, sees Arxter for half a second, but he doesn't want to commit too hard. They're looking for that 8-minute bounty rune to try and hold it this time for the Queen of Pain. But already you see Fada. He moves towards the top, and they're going to play the odds game.
This is so weird for Sumail. He's going Veil.
His Fada with the regen rune.
He's going Veil, no boots, max Shadow Strike. So just fully in for the lane domination, not looking to rotate. I have not seen this style of Quap played, you know, really ever. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out because he won't have the ability to shove lanes for quite some time, and his blink cooldown is going to be very long. So it's going to be about him dominating this mid lane, extending the laning phase, which should be fine for EG as they're ahead in all three.
S4's out way too far. They start up the channeling of the Coddle Blast, and it's going to hit S4 pretty hard. Combining with the Brain Sap, he begins the TP with the Shallow Grave, and they both go out in sync together. No Nightmare available, no other stuns up. And the rotation does not pay off at NiP.
That's really good calls there from S4 and Fly. I assume that was Fly's maneuver, just calling for the double TP. They knew the stuns were on cooldown. A really nice play, because it forces the rotation. Sure, you're going to miss a creep wave, but Ace is going to push that lane in. Maybe you miss a creep or two. It's no big deal.
Small communication problems. Hopefully they'll fix it up pretty soon. This game looks a hell of a lot better than game one.
Yep.
Like the difference is still like within 1,000, both gold and experience of the two teams.
Yeah, I think this is just more respect in this draft for EG from NiP. More about conservative play, ensuring that even if they fall a bit behind, though they do have a slight lead, it's not getting dumpstered. Like, don't pick some lineup that's so greedy that if EG starts getting momentum and snowballs, that you have no recourse to come back. Just make sure that you can get to that 15-minute mark. You know, that's step one, and then you can try and close out a game. But again, the big concern is as you hit that mid game before Coddle has Ags, where's your sustained DPS coming from? EG's got a lot of options, especially once S4 picks up an Ags.
Yeah. But NiP is still going to be okay with this. Like, they're still getting towards those items. EG are not forcing the issue just yet. This isn't going to be anywhere near as fast a Blink Dagger on the Axe. As you said, as long as the lanes push out, PPD, can he Nightmare? Yeah, he will over on crit. And this is a pretty isolated Axe. He has Call available, as well as TP, so they can't actually get the kill straight away.
And you can see part of the issue, though, is that now that Shaker top is level 6, even before so, you can see Ace has to leave the lane. It's a big problem for NiP.
Terrorblade stunned up on the bottom lane, and they have enough control to bring him down in time. Dragon Tail and Hoof combining with the Breathe Fire. And Double Edge finds the kill, and they want to get aggressive. The Nightmare from the Stampede from Mind Control and to close the distance on the Axe, but yeah, there's not enough follow-up. They still want as many of the bounty runes as possible. The Fly takes both the ones on top.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Smell has to be real conservative with his blink. It's still just level 1. He's going for that max TPS build. Veil, no boots. Fada's in trouble.
Stuns out. From the sides, Mind Control wants to help out. PPD, well, there's the call. The Nightmare's going to switch over. Just goes between them. Nice hoof stomp into the double edge. Samael brought down, really did not have as much damage as he probably thought he did. And now it's Crit who's on the run. The Breathe Fire from Fada will secure him the double kill. And Evil Geniuses, a crisp game 1 is now a wonky game 2.
Yeah, and Sumail, he got caught there. He wanted to ult, canceled it, and then to blink away, he had to turn, and in that time, Centaur was able to close, find the stun, and the burst damage was there. And that's part of the issue with the Quap, right? You're 950 HP, you catch a couple of spells, and you're just going to die, and a bit of a miscue there.
They can't really afford this. Like, feeding those 2 huge kills over to Fada. He's now #1 of the net worth, 4.3k.
Yep. And this is, I will say, Sumail, one of the, if not the best core when he's ahead. But in a game like this, you've got to be a little more controlled. You can't just run lane to lane and dominate. You've got to be a lot more controlled and calculating. And there's, if he has faults, I would say, being a bit impulsive.
Just seems very odd seeing like Sumail trying to harass out when you got Mind Control as well as Fada on bottom lane. Like these are the 2 heroes that he doesn't have the damage to kill, even with the Veil.
It's cool that both teams mirroring movements around the map, where they send both of their carries mid, because TBPL have real hard times laning against the off-laner for each respective team.
Well, Dragon Tail stun out over on Crit. Follow-up stuns there from Mind Control. No denial from Creeps this time around. Yeah. And Fada claims yet another kill. That's his 3rd kill out of the 5 that NiP have.
Another reason Veil is super cool is that it applies only to the real PL. So if you catch him post-doppel with Veil, you immediately identify which one is real.
Nice little tip to look out for. NiP smoking to the bottom lane. Fada again on the move. Come underneath the Observer Ward. Fly, who's there on the tower. Stampede forward, gets the stun. PPD with the Brain Zap will ensure the kill. Fada didn't need to be here, but they will try and use the time to push the mid lane, but that's where EG is already moving up. The Echo Slam, instant hit, and the double stun, but it cuts off Crit from Ace. Wow. You'll still get the kill over on Zuxa.
And really well played by EG there. Again, the Fisher just off the mark by maybe 50 units, but very questionable from NiP. They're trying to defend this tower. They only lose 1, which could have easily been 2, and like you said, Ace is the form of sustained damage for NiP, unless Fada can just go off. And I will say, Fada has an incredible DK, and I like his itemization. Gets that Bracer for the early DPS, and he's going to go Shadow Blade. You cannot go Blink in a game like this, because you're just going to fall off, and they need DPS. So this Shadow Blade into probably BKB or Maelstrom, I think that's definitely the way to go.
The fact that Fada is even able to be looking towards building this item soon is the biggest upside for NiP.
Yeah, I mean, we knocked on Fada hard last game, but
we did.
He is a DK player. You can trust him on this hero, and I'm very glad that was the selection for him.
It was kind of like the last obvious one, but the concern was just what the EG supports would do, like when they would rotate around, like if they'll be able to just lock down control compared to like the Bane Coddle. That's where our concern was really sitting, but NiP have risen to the task, and EG's influence with their rotations have not been anywhere near as dominant as Game 1. And this just changes the scope. Game 2, NiP still being pressured on top lane. Fada's going to arrive, gets a Dragon Tail stun over on the real Terrorblade. They'll be able to get through all of the copies and keep the pressure up. And they Stampede, they want more help to come forward, and Mind Control's got it without any Thunder.
Yep.
He went for a 1-4-4. There's no way to switch that life.
That was a great punish from NiP. They knew that there was no teleport on Sumail. He went to that bottom tier 2, and they're going to chase for more.
Yeah, Dragon Tail's done. The Illumina's going to fly out as well. The Blinding Light pushing Fly back in to the range of PPD and Fada as PPD who claims the kill.
Yeah, because bear in mind, Sumail really can't fight, and he's going for a late-game Quap build. The key for NiP is going to be to close out this game in the mid-game. They need a Roche with the Kata Lags timing, and they've got to have a huge PL. Because this build from Sumail, Veil into Lincolns, into either, you know, Shiva's, Orchid, Maelstrom, something of this point. You're playing for level 25 on Quap in this sort of game, and you have a Terrorblade, you have a Dazzle, the Shaker. Your late-game teamfight from EG is going to be nigh unstoppable. They have BKB piercing save and disables. And again, NiP's only real carry hero is going to be this PL, so they need to keep applying pressure and take out that mid tower as soon as possible.
NiP, like, if they keep going like this, they will be up to that challenge. Ace is getting more farms, so the Diffuser Blade is going to make life a little bit more difficult. These supports don't have high mana pools, but expensive abilities like the Dazzle burn through everything and goes through like 3/4 of his mana pool.
Look up top, S4 almost has Ags. They're trying to hunt him, summon coming in.
He's trying to keep this very secret too. Like, he could just also buy the Blink Dagger, but instead just TP up. Ags first is always nice.
Spidey senses from S4.
He goes all the way home too. Buys up his 3-1 case.
I like the build from Fly. We've seen a lot of Dazzles go brainlessly, 3-1-1 or 2-1-2. He gets that 1 point poison touch, but Grave is just so valuable of an ability, I'd be very surprised if that wasn't the first spell he maxed in this game.
You want to have that maximum amount of range. That way he's not putting himself at heavy risk of the initiation of NiP.
Yeah. It's just a cooldown. It's so important to have a 15-second Grave in a game like this. Because NiP's whole lineup revolves around finding that initial target with the burst combo, the Blink Centaur, Shadowblade DK, somebody goes down, and then you stampede to find further.
Oh, pressure from Ace on bottom lane. Fada's trying to hang around, make the most of this Shadowblade, because he was denied that kill over on top. Fada's kind of been in limbo for a little bit.
It is on Sumail. Ace could be in trouble here. That Veil will be huge if they bait the Doppel, but here comes Peter and an Invis DK.
Yeah. Turn very, very quickly. Remember, you still got the Stampede for NiP to try and bail out. Yeah. Not to mention, Centaur has completed the Blink Dagger, so Mind Control's got a jump of his own.
And really great warding from Peter as well in this game. This trio of wards that he's got, this defensive one in his top jungle area is sniffed out Fly's rotation, and then they've got one on mid tower and another on the bottom shrine. So optimum map control for Dire here in very important places. Doesn't pay just to have wards up. You want to ensure they see areas of the map that you're trying to play around. So PL safeguarded bottom, and this makes it a lot easier for Soxa to continue to play top safely.
Yep. Fada's being pulled up towards the top. We get to work with Soxa, but at the same time, Aghanim's is there for S4. So he's ready to jump at Fada. He slips it around the back. He's starting over on Fly. Wants to make sure there's no Shallow Grave with the Fissure. It'll create space and the Shallow Grave. Fly will begin its run, but with the weave, they're thinking twice about it. TP out from Fly will be successful. Gets regeneration from the fountain to make up for the dot effect, but a little bit deeper in. Mind Control's on the run away from Sumail. Blink forward. Dragon Tail stun from Fada. It's good to keep Axe away.
They have the Diffusal on PL, so this is not a fight EG can take easily.
Don't know about this jump forward, Ace. Phantom Rush was on cooldown, so he didn't quickly follow up.
Yeah, but both teams, you can't really take fights into the enemy side, because while I've been saying NiP is burst damage heavy, I think EG, they're looking to play the same, especially once Dazzle is out of the fight. You don't really have the sustained damage until the meta Terrorblade is up and BKB'd, and that's not going to be online for a bit. They didn't have meta for that engagement, and you just can't contest a PL Diffusal without all of your cooldowns ready, and they want to play fights the same way. Initiate with a dunk, with an axe call, find an opening kill, chase for more.
What a ward, just watching S4 move away. They wanted to actually hunt and probably get down a fresh Observer ward on PPD. 3-man smoke up, and then it's the same for Evil Geniuses. A 3-man smoke up, and now they're heading into the Dire jungle. It's pure mirror strat. It's just a little bit of an echo delay.
Yeah. You need Fly behind the Terrorblade, though. Arteezy a little bit of danger, but that's the beauty of Terrorblade. You don't actually need to push out the lane. You just send your illusion, because that's balanced. I like the wards placed, though, as you said, from PPD. They refresh this one ward, or well, they place a new one, actually, just in this area that will miss, that doesn't get dewarded by any of the sentries you traditionally place around this hill, either on top of it, to the right of it, or below it. It's a more advanced ward. Not quite as much vision, but far less likely to be countered. And they do refresh. This is the same exact concept with this one he placed on Ancient, which is really nice.
Much information and hope it gets through full duration. Top tier 2 tower is getting brought down. Arteezy does not have to burn Metamorphosis for this. They'll make the most of this money. Samel's building for Lincolns. Arteezy's building for BKB after having the Dragonlance and Yasha already up. NiP, they'll need a trade-off. Bottom lane will have to be it. Meanwhile, Bounding Rune's 20-minute mark. Time to secure.
Yep. But bear in mind, this is that Radiant advantage, where the towers they've taken, look at Roche and the map control they've established around the pit. They can't do it yet, but they always have that option. Dire, you're forced to play Radiant safe lane, and it's just so far from the pit. Yeah, you've got map control here, but all you're ever really able to do out of this is mirror. You can never threaten that big objective. And again, it's just the mirror, like the wards placed by Fly. He's got 2 that are in very difficult places to counter ward. He's sentried preemptively, so he's sure that he wasn't seen. And they've got control, again, over that critical Roche pit.
Cuddle Lags has arrived, so it took 20 minutes to get it up. But this is now very safe D-push, having that bonus during daytime, so...
Or sentry, the time to do that.
Yeah, Fada jumps out, goes after the axe. Quick stun. He'll be okay. Even with Stampede, and they knew they had the Illuminate behind him.
And this is so cool. You see they actually censored out the ward they didn't find.
Smoking around the side. They're going to wrap a long way around? Or they're coming down. Look at this. It's a perfect circle. Arteezy is smack bang in the middle of this. They'll see him for half the second and realize with the new Observer Ward where he is. But Arteezy, the pings are coming. They didn't scan for it. He just feels it. Shadowblade will wear off. And then the ping arrives.
Man, Dota's a game of inches and seconds. You can see Arteezy, as someone was drawing, like, this is an unsafe area of the map. Exit immediately. And he makes it out just in time. I love this from EG, though. This is how you do it. Play as 4 in the enemy jungle. At some point, NiP is going to have to push out mid lane or check your positioning. And look at this. They're in a perfect position to hunt, but a dire scan, man. Both of these teams on point with their movements. So it's a low-scoring game. 1-8, 22 minutes in.
PPD. Oh, okay. Well, that Observer Ward died pretty quickly. He put his own sentry down because he was worried there was vision in the lane. But everyone's been very creative with their ward placement, so it's difficult to find them.
Yep. And it's cool, too. The reason that they don't die there is because the PL and the Centaur were off-map as Peter ran up to ward. So, yeah, you could theoretically initiate, but because S4 has Ags and not a Blink, he's very... If he W's in, and then there's just a Centaur re-initiate and a PL, he's in big trouble all of a sudden, and the Terrorblade was too far away to assist. BKB finished on Arteezy. They might be looking to do Roche at some point. Bear in mind, daytime, 1 minute, 20 seconds away. That's when NiP's timing is to start making moves, take mid-tower, look for Roche. And that's the part of the game EG would be most threatened by, so I'd like to see them look for a fight before that comes online.
I think that's what they're trying to attempt to do around the mid lane, but they'll start up Roshan before the daytime. The Blink Dagger did get picked up by Fada. He's showing it on the bottom lane.
This is big.
So they can jump into Roshan, but only if they know what's going on.
Yeah, but you can't fight it. That's the thing. Since it's nighttime still, you can't walk into a Shaker Axe lineup with a Dazzle Terrorblade.
They're coming
Crit has Blink as well.
PPD is nearby. And Roshan's already pretty low. 800, 700, 600, 300. Jump out. They're going to find the Dazzle. So a quick kill for Crit. He got the call over on PPD. The Illuminate spam. He'll connect onto Samel, doing some quite heavy damage. But do they really want to commit? Getting out with the Aegis. It's going to be nice if they can survive, but 30 seconds time, you get up daytime in the back forward. Samel, the Aegis already going to burn. And the Fiends could follow up instantly. Yeah, so S4 cannot give it, and it's just stun control after stun control from NiP. S4 and Samel will fall. The Aegis is instantly burnt. Samel has no buyback available, and now daytime is arriving in 10 seconds.
You ever wanted to know the difference between confidence and cockiness? We just saw that demonstrated right there. Crit ran topside, going to loop around back to the shrine. Arteezy's farming Ancients, and Samel's just hanging out trying to CS mid. Of course you're going to go down. S4 tries to save him, but again, there's a Bane still. He just gets gripped right in the face, and boom, 2 kills.
Well, let's watch it again. So Roshan dropping quickly, but it wasn't the primary one. It's just Fly in the middle of nowhere.
Way out of position. He can't be playing there as a Dazzle. Roche is dying. Just retreat upwards. If NiP swarms the pit, that might be a favorable team fight for EG since they do have that terrible BKB. But look at Jumel. He's just going to hang out.
Maybe they didn't know about Fada's Blink Dagger. He was underneath the tier 2 tower, but if they didn't look, if they didn't click, like, we at least get notifications about this type of stuff, or else Fly may never have been in that position.
And now they know, no meta. Daytime, you can just siege here.
Yep, even with the BKB on Arteezy, that's not enough to make him intimidating. Your Dragon form, like you even managed to save this. Like, Fada is just beating into this mid tower. Yeah. The Illuminate will continuously heal him up, but NiP, and they're not going to force the issue. Maybe they're still concerned about an Echo Slam. Maybe they're concerned about something else.
Yeah, and it's good. It's just
S4's coming out.
It's almost impossible for EG to fight at daytime if NiP is in a death ball because they don't have the vision to get on top of Bane or Coddle. And if you don't kill the Coddle, you don't have the damage output to actually win a team fight. That's a Centaur with a Crimson Guard, a DK level 15, doesn't have the highest HP, but 20 armor is considerable. And then you have a Hood on a PL going heart next.
Stampede up, the jump comes already through. Trick got a pretty damn good call on the Echo Slam, finishing on PPD, but is this going to be worth it? ES has little to no matter. He's got 10 stick charges, and S4 buys some time, and the Shallow Grave Fly is going to be nearby. Buyback comes in from PPD. Wants to help out a Sparta, jumping forward. They get the double stuns and into the back line. S4 and Fly die so quickly, and the stranded crit axe on the wrong side of the tracks. Mind control will be the trade-off. Samael able to claim the kill on him as he walks away.
I think you buy back the Centaur here and summon him in. You've got 30 seconds. It should be at least a tier 3.
And you just got a DD onto the Dragon Knight, so you got more push.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Don't buy back, but they're going to be able to summon him in. So bear in mind, even though EG's heroes are going to come up right away, that Coddle advantage, you're going to have 5 to match EG as soon as they're prepared. And Blip used already. This could be a Rax. There's no Shaker dunk. Meta is up.
Yep. And the DD's now been triggered up by Fada, holding inside the bottle. Trade-off is trying to come in from Arteezy. So he's up on the top lane. Maybe he can go for a tier 3 tower and make NiP look behind him. The fortification comes in from the Dire side. And S4, he just wants to cancel any of these TPs back. And he's already got one. Centaur's beginning his TP out. It's going to be that split time. Mind Control gets the stump, but Arteezy knows what he's here for. The Crimson Guard's protecting the tower, but they just keep pushing forward. Arteezy, and maybe it's time to back out now as everyone back on their side of the river is fighting. Samael is so low. Crit is waiting for the right time with a Fiend's Grip. Perfectly controlled from PPD. Holds Samael in position, and Axe stunned up as he runs out of mana. Also the stun from Fada. Perfect blink over. Both the supports down. There's buybacks available from Evil Geniuses. They did open up the top lane of Rax, but NiP still in full force, coming down the mid. Metamorphosis will wear off in 2 seconds time. So Arteezy, this range damage, he gets something to pull the creep wave off, but they've lost mid-Rax.
So impressive from Fada. 8-0-6 in this game, and part of what made that game 1 so incredible to watch was NiP is a damn good Dota team. These are experienced players. They've been around the scene for a while. I love the fire. This is why I love esports, baby, because this is a grudge match, and you can see both these teams playing with intensity, and even though NiP got pretty dumpstered in that game 1, they're saying, look, it's 17-3. They're playing near flawlessly as a squad, executing their lineups near perfection, and I gotta say, Fada's choice. I hadn't built that Blink already paying for itself. He's found 4 kills so far. Yep. 2 in the Roche pit fight, 3 in that engagement, so I guess that's 5, but my math is wrong.
It was one of the Roshan fight that actually just won them the Roshan fight. Yeah. Like, picking up the Dazzle so quickly means that NiP have done exactly what you're talking about. They're able to jump in, get that instant kill onto a hero, and then move on to the next. It's one after the other. Their stun control is perfectly changed because they're able to all be in the right position. It's like the intimidation factor that we were both expecting from EG. Where is that blink call from the Axe? It's not as intimidating. The jump in from S4, they put him into the core role, but we haven't really felt a huge Echo Slam apart from just that one small little fight.
It's similar to the game we watched yesterday, Tigers versus PainX. Yeah, In Your Dream has a bad game, looks like a bad player, but it's a near impossible game for a Magnus playing against a Venomancer that's going to always be able to control vision. It's the exact same here. At daytime, how do you actually engage? How do you play Shaker when you're up against map hacks? It's not possible.
Man, I just want to give massive props for NiP. Like, it was pretty crushing in game 1. Of course, you did see Evil Geniuses be a little bit cocky here in game 2, and that did give opportunities, but it works. Made in China. that it's the fact that NiP have been able to regroup themselves and come back. Yes, you looked at the draft, PPD used all of his time on that last pickup, but they came in, they worked out their plan, they worked out their focus, their mindset, and that's that experience of the players. Maybe now, a little bit of trouble, we shouldn't praise him too much or else PPD's gonna die. He's trying to retreat back out again, the Nightmare dodge is real good, trying to get up the hill. Crit, he's able to jump in, he gets the hit off, and maybe with the control they try and stampede out the F1 slam. Fada, he didn't get it off in time, but maybe with the stun control, S4 will finally go down. Buyback is out, Centaur wants to rejoin this fight. Crit, he's torn it up once again, both the PL as well as the DK, but that just seals his own death anyway. Retreat was out for both Arteezy and Samael. They get back to defend, and what did NiP really lose out of that? They bought back on the Centaur. They lost the Bane, but they claimed 3 in return.
And not just that, I was thinking NiP would have damage issues, but look at their cores. They have what feels like 3 strength cores. Yes, Centaur died in that fight, but think about how long it took. He has a plate mail and a Crimson Guard. And yeah, Sunder did half his HP, but you can't kill these heroes. And DK just out of range. S4 wasn't able to get the echo off. Maybe that would have changed things, but Quap at this point, he doesn't offer any sustained DPS. It's all about Arteezy's Terrorblade, and he just doesn't have the damage output yet. Yeah,
and that was even during nighttime. Like you can see, we're watching that's the end of the fight right now, but even with the blast, like there's no high regeneration. So you're talking about damage uses from Evil Geniuses. What happens during daytime when you're behind in vision and you're then behind in the amount of like sustain?
You're going to have major issues, as we can see. And S4 is in some trouble.
He's coming
close. Arteezy.
Yeah, Arteezy's nearby, and they just start with the Nightmare. Flies there. BKB from Fada, so he can just start beating it towards S4. Won't care about There is no Echo Slam anyway, but it's the Fiend's grip onto Arteezy. PPD will be brought down, so they get the Culling Blade off. And now maybe it's NiP who will bit off a little bit more than they can chew. Ace wants to come in through the rear, but Mind Control with the Home Stomp for control. Arteezy still got the Thunder. He'll swap life with Fada. The stun will be out, but now more support. Crit is just going ham with the double kill from the Axe Culling Blade. He moves over for another target. Ace is wondering if he wants to get out or he moves forward. Arteezy is totally bone dry and he wants to jump forward with the lance. Support Fada jumps forward with the stun. The Link is fit in, protect him in time, but S4 will do so with the physical control. They were trying to keep him away. The Tonk gives the backline control with the blinding light, pushing S4 back. He went for the dunk but rejected. Saska wants more space. Maybe Samael stun up the control. Where's he gone? He's blinked up. He's actually been pulled back out again. And NiP retreat back out. My lord, that blinding light time.
Oh my god.
Like, show me that in slow motion, please.
Oh, that is so cool. And what a great interaction, right? Because I don't think it functions that way with like Tiny Talks, but because of the way Shaker functions, it obviously just denied him. That was a Keem Olajuwon stuffing S4 in the face. Great blinding light, as you said. Excellent buyback from Fada just to ensure that fight didn't get out of hand, but also well played by EG. They were sniffing out, waiting for that buyback. You could see Ace was like, come over with me, guys. I'm going to doppel up to the shrine. You can get me. And if they were to commit a little further, S4 with a great job pretending like he was going to pursue and then making sure to bounce away. Great taunts from Crit to save his cores. And wow, just great play all around. But
that's an interesting TP out, Arteezy. Your shrine is literally just being attacked and you're being dewatered, but you're still TP out towards the shrine, probably thinking about Roshan. He is in that spawn window. We know he's got 35 seconds left. EG doesn't. That's the reason why you see them smoke up and they're coming out. But here's that little jump, and S4 jump in and out. Nope.
And man, here's the big fight. They have Butterfly on Arteezy. He's spawned out. I love this call. You need damage. They know this. They're not going to win a fight unless the Terrorblade could be a huge threat.
They've literally just traded sides.
This is perfect. It's daytime, though, keep in mind.
Yep.
They see
smoke up from Evil Geniuses, from NiP. They're going to swing my brain the other way around. And no one's quite certain. Okay, the smoke will break
they see
on EG. Roshan has now spawned up. Keeper of the Light sees all. Remember, it is daytime while they fight this, so Sarks is giving that extra vision. And Evil Geniuses are very uncertain about it, so they can just creep skip for the moment, even though there is a creep wave inside the base attacking the tier 4 towers.
This is how you have to play it, though, if you're EG. Because if they're in range of
They're starting Roshan? They're going to sit inside? Yeah. This is dangerous when you make more and more copies. You know ES will want to go for this.
But there's no way he can get in. They have a gem, they have a sentry down, they know where EG is. Look at Sox's positioning, it's flawless.
They just have to blink the Axe. Like, Crit almost has to go this blind if they can't see it, and that's exactly what he does. He blinks in, they'll get the jump out. Samel, he was winding up for the ultimate, but now it's DK getting the follow-up stuns. Crit will be kept alive. There's the backline's mind control, controlling up the Dazzle, killing him off. Even the Shallow Grave is there. It will still be the axe falling. Roshan being contested, S4 versus Ace. The battle inside the cage fight. It's the pit. Buybacks come thick and fast from Evil Geniuses as they realize Arteezy, with no buyback, has been isolated on the stairs. No Sunder, no mana for it. He's down for 80 seconds without buyback. The rest of supports arrive. Crit jumps in. He missed the call, but now here comes S4. But the Dragon Tail stun finally hit him in flight. Who's the real bird? Echo Slam comes, but the damage is minimal. Crit will die. I think they've burnt way too much. Samel can blink away to safety, but because he's mantling down, he can't get away. Fighter is hot on the tails. He smells the blood, the dragon blood, and Fly is the sole survivor to defend this. Good luck. You are a word I didn't want to say.
That is pretty much the game. NiP taking no chances. They're just going to say it's over. We're going for strong. You can see, you can't take that fight. You need to agree, G, but it's near impossible. That's a hard put PL in the pit. You just don't do enough damage. There's 2 blasts from Soxa coming through. The initial sleep from PPD just to ensure there was no 100-0 combo that could be output. And thank God Ice Strong put a mana cost on level 3 Sunder. He was probably dead. Arteezy was probably dead anyway, but at least you couldn't use it because it cost 50. He was That's part of the reason PL counters the TB.
After all this time, I finally understand. Weapons are useless without the skill to wield them. The past is an illusion without the stories to anchor it. Immortality is meaningless without the trials to make one worthy of it. Time to write a new story. They showed promise at the TI-8 qualifiers, but after a summer to reflect on missed opportunities, they're finally showing why this iconic org has placed all their faith in them. Coached by